Good afternoon, APALA. My son's getting ready to record. Okay. I am so deeply humbled and honored to be elected as APALA National President. I was born and raised here in Seattle. I grew up inside the labor movement. My parents were both leaders in ILWU Local 37, the Cannery Workers Union. Many people know the story of my father, Ligaya Domingo, a trade unionist, internationalist, and leader against martial law in the Philippines, and his murder here in Seattle in 1981. I've seen firsthand the power that collective action can have as my family built key relationships within the community to ensure that the people responsible for my father's murder would be held responsible, and we held the Marcos regime in the Philippines accountable, as well as those who conspired here in the United States. I also saw from an early age the impact that organizing, unionizing, and standing together could have on one's family. While I grew up in the movement, it wasn't until I was 18 that everything snapped into focus for me. I started working on an environmental organizing campaign my first year of college in the San Francisco Bay Area, organizing against the impacts of oil refineries on the environment, the community, and workers. And I realized it's the same fight. What we were organizing for as environmentalists was the same as what the community organizers were fighting for and what the unions were fighting for: protection, justice, the right to a life where we can all thrive. And I realized that by organizing through unions, by pooling our resources, building our voices together, we could have the power to win. And yet, at that time, when I looked around at the unions that I got introduced to, I could see that they were predominantly led by white men, and if we were lucky, white women. At the first local union I started working for, I was one of two people of color, and I got introduced to APALA. Very quickly, I started helping at APALA organizing institutes, and I attended my first APALA convention in 1997. The connections I made through APALA and the opportunities for leadership development became a lifeline for me at times that I felt so alone in a movement that is supposed to be about collectivity. I dreamed about becoming a leader in APALA at the national level. My friend and comrade, the late John DeLauro, and I used to talk of the ways we wanted to transform APALA. And it's the basis of those ideas that I look forward to leading this organization. We cannot continue reproducing or replicating the old ways of leading in the labor movement. We have to let go of leading through domination, white supremacy culture, and intimidation. Those are strategies that the boss taught us. And they taught us that in order to control us. We have to lead into the future with thoughtfulness, humanity, and love, but also an understanding that we must build power for the working class. We must be strategic, diligent, consistent, and collective. We've got a steep hill in front of us. We know that the 2024 election is going to be critical. We have to start getting ready now. We are going to need to build the infrastructure of this organization to foster connection and organizing. We've got to build our chapters up, you all. Over the next 2 years, we will build stronger, more robust chapters across the country through which we will help to organize the unorganized, support workers going on strike and taking a stand for the dignity and respect that they deserve. We'll register and engage API voters and communities. We will strengthen and grow our individual and collective leadership, and we will fundraise so that we have the resources we need to do all of this. But I can't do this alone. This will take all of us. So I want to ask you, will you all stand with me to build a stronger APALA in the next 2 years? Will you do it? We will need all of you and all of your coworkers and all of our community to stand together. As I close out today, I want to thank all of you who have supported me through all the years. And I want to congratulate all of the newly elected and appointed board representatives. I look forward to doing great things with you. We've got a lot of work to do, and we must continue to come together to build a stronger APALA.